the old ideals, the emotional states. Got to draw a picture of that. All right. The psyche, the sub-psyche, and all these emotions are like pebbles. So we have the psyche, which we'll call it the conscious mind. Isn't it funny to call it the conscious mind, which is not that conscious? Okay. And then the sub-psyche, and then all the emotion that are collapsing, 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 which in turn is having the sub-psyche. If you take a breath and just listen for a moment, you're starting to go well beyond the psyche into the sub-psyche, starting to look at all these beautiful particles of thought forms that have been flowing around, going around, recreating, 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 recreating. Because at one point they said, fire is bad. So then there's all this beautiful locking up in your solar plexus that's beginning to affect magnetically your exponential world. When you said, ooh, I am a female, male, puppy, dog, kitty, cat, doesn't really matter. You commanded the physicality into a solidified state. And then you start picking up on all this stuff that you're supposed to be running with, dancing through, and also acting like, hence is the word acting, to play out with my mother's mothers have always done this, so I have to do it too. And picked up on that, commanded it so as creator in the physicality, and started creating magnetics for yourself of streams of events. So we had constantly a stream with the same outcome, just different players at times, that continue to repeat itself, repeat itself, repeat itself. Now the enlightenment phrase is called pattern. And we start creating a pattern rather than being ran forth with a pattern. Because these patterns start to lock in, to start creating these beautiful portals of consciousness, and then command the outcome before you ever even move your physicality. Now you're letting all of that come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, and die off. As the rest of you is coming in, coming forth to begin to express. Now, when I say express, it's not, okay, let's all go buy pretty dresses and start expressing ourselves. Might as well go to the airport and hand out those little books. We'll call them Hare Krishnas, all right? And now from here, it's kind of funny. They're called Hare Krishnas, but more often they're bald. Can you figure that one out? So you kind of got to figure, okay, well, someone's a little bit off on this one. So I always call them fuzzy. Now from here, it's running with it, running with it. But watching how all the exponential world starts to open up all these gorgeous, wonderful portals for yourself to sing and dance, play with, rock and roll with, and flourish with, by all means. But then watch your creator level start to open right through the physical structure. Right now, as all the organs are lighting up, brightening up, opening up. Look at how beautiful all of this is running forth and running forth and running forth to break down. Now, when you take a breath, watch how beautifully the whole exponential world starts to open up and how you're actually able to not just breathe air, it's that beautiful light being that's stepping out of space and time. And those tiny little particles of light that are coming in is all of the emotion, energy and motion, E equals MC squared, conscious alters matter, which is what's been keeping your creator levels from fully expressing and letting oneself receive. Now, the emotional calibrational lattice work is coming up. It's recontemplating and leaving. It's recontemplating the sub-psyche. The sub-psyche is trying to recontemplate itself, so it's trying to find something to hold on to, latch on to make a reality. This is where we continue to breathe those tiny little particles of light and watch all these perceptional ideals and realities start to collapse. Such as my parents never had enough, so I'll never had enough, blah, blah, blah. Now from here, we can call that a belief, but it's not. It's a stream of consciousness that's been so integrated with all of the repetitions of the same outcome that it commanded it so. In a body on a planet. So of course, well, I'm going to go to an over-the-hill party, whatever that means. I just know you give everyone black balloons, which, they're pretty, so let's not judge them. Okay, now from here, what is an over-the-hill party except for an identification with the perceptual age, time continuum based in everyone else's journeys, which is not your creator consciousness. It's the mental level. Having a field day with everything it's ever seen in a body on a planet and commanding that to be reality. Isn't that great? Now from here, the emotional states of consciousness are leaving, dissolving. Sub-Psyche is recontemplating itself, which is now going to affect the unconscious conscious mind. Until now, we have you fully emanating and integrating and amplifying as a beautiful vortex of consciousness through this long linear search to find oneself, or shall I say, your creator consciousness, that now you're beginning to feel, open up to, as we say, whatever, to all the rest of the world and the exponential activities. Not that we don't care. It's that now you're able to walk through it without embodying it and creating all these ideals about a falsity of itself. To where you're arising right through it without an identity. I have a body, I have a name, I have IDs and all this fun stuff. That has nothing to do with me. Matter of fact, the only thing it is a lot of credit, which I still have to laugh at. They gave me credit. Now from here, you look at it for what it is, to where, now these are all tools, but it has nothing to do with my physical demagnetized structure. So creator levels come right in. Arise and arise and arise. Take care of this scenario, that scenario, this scenario. Take care of my whole live stream. Now the part that gets tough about that, and it is tough, that's when this right here really wants to hang on. 2, it's survival. Because this right here has deemed itself to be a reality. It's even deemed itself to be a live deity. It's even deemed itself to be your master. Isn't that a blast? A master that constantly punishes you. A master says, I can have this, but I can't have that. Oh, it's too much work. I'll never get there. Where is there, man? Now from here, you're already there. Now you're letting everything fully, completely unravel as you're coming in, expanding, and becoming demagnetized in every way, shape, and form in a body on a planet, and watching how your life stream starts to now be filled with all the beautiful joy, eminence, radiance, and passion. And let's not go looking for a passion, because I promise you, you're not going to find it. Let's let it find you.